Iniciar
Beleza,
janela.
galera, só
Dados
um
de ingresso
minutinho. Duas coisas para fazer aqui.
configurações. Fixado tudo em tudo.
A primeira,
Som. Speaker. Hyper. Lista. Speak. Fechar.
primeira já foi.
Minimizar.
A segunda, eu peguei o headset, aqui no headset não dá. Deixa eu ver aqui.
OBS. Barra mais exibição de exibição, visão, área, tela, aplicativo 2910, YouTube, pessoal, principal marco clicável, assista depois entrando em tela inteira. Complementar marco
Welcome to the
clicável.
2025 IGA's Countdown. I'm Kelsey Lynn Towndrow, and I'm here to jog your memories a bit ahead of the big show. For the next 20 minutes, we're going to take a brief look back at the 10 indies nominated for Game of the Year. Absolem, And Roger, Consume Me, Blueprints, Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, Keep Driving, and Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. Throughout the countdown, we'll also take a checkpoint here and there to spotlight our wonderful sponsors who helped us put this whole production together. All right, let's get to it.
E hoje, galera, tô começando assim dessa maneira rápida assim, porque eu tô com um tempo curto para gravar, né? Deixa eu ver até que hora é. Tá gravando? Terminou de gravar antes? Tá bom. Acho que dá. Não. Acho que vai dar exato. Ai, meu Deus, galera. E ontem jogando aquele jogo lixo lá, me atrasou. Então hoje, dia, não sei se é 29 ou 30% do YouTube. Esse é o último evento do ano.
Wake up, Sleeper. We're in trouble. Lane's closing in, and we need this next contract to go right. But nothing's gone right so far.
Então, tô de joguinho indie aqui que não tô chamando muita atenção não, velho.
Junie? I didn't trust her. Not for a moment. That derelict was a death trap. Suddenly, it was all over. But we've got to bounce back. We've secured the contract. So let's talk, crew. How about Mia? She was handy with that drone. Stopped the whole thing blowing up in our faces. Or Eugene. He's a loudmouth, but he's tough as hell. Although he did forget to tell us about Vesna. Or we find someone new, but new crew have new problems. The belt is wide, Sleeper. So whatever comes at us next, just remember, nothing in the belt ever runs smooth.
Hello, Indie Game Awards. It's us, Playdate, the little yellow game console with a crank. Playdate is made for fun and comes with 24 free games, plus hundreds more available in our store from incredible indie developers. Some you know, and some we'd love for you to meet. Here's
Não
just a
conheço
little
companhia
taste.
não, nem o console deles.
Plus, every single Playdate is also a dev unit just waiting for you to make your own game. You don't even have to know how to code to get started. Ready for your Playdate? Find us at play.date.
Soon she'll wake and paint again. Paint a new number, ticking down every year. One stroke, and everyone of that age vanishes into nothingness. Every year she paints again, and every year an expedition departs for the continent with one hopeless mission: destroy the paintress so she can never paint death again. We'll break the cycle so she can't steal anyone else's future.
This world is full of wonders.
Yet everywhere we go, we walk with death.
Do you mean we're the only ones left?
Even if we fail, we lay the trail for those who will come after. Right? We are Expedition 33.
É o único que eu gostei até agora dos indies que mostraram aqui. O jogo base tá bem baratinho, $40. O preço normal é 70, para não 60.
Thoughtful implementation of accessibility means games can be enjoyed by everyone. Here to celebrate a few developers making that the standard for our industry is Laura Kate Dale, founder of Accessibility and the Accessibility Showcase.
Hello everyone, my name's Laura Kate Dale. I'm a disabled gamer, accessibility advocate, and host of the Accessibility Summer Showcase. I'm honoured to be here today to introduce the nominees and winner for the Achievement in Accessibility Award. Over the past 5 or so years, the video game industry has come forward in leaps and bounds in terms of how we standardise accessibility for disabled players. However, perhaps more impressive to me are the ways that indie developers are innovating in the accessibility space, redefining who we consider in accessibility efforts, and what ways we approach helping more people to engage with more genres of games. Video games as a medium should be accessible to everyone. If we love this medium, we should want as many people as possible to be able to play, and these 6 nominees have gone above and beyond in terms of finding new ways to help make sure that more people get to play the games we love. Here are the nominees for the Achievement in Accessibility Award. Abiotic Factor by Deepfield Games. This game featured impressively robust options to alter basically any aspect of the game that might have been inaccessible, regardless of how much it might undo the intended gameplay experience. Calm the Storm by Ludic Lima. A short narrative experience, essentially a choose-your-own-adventure podcast, Calm the Storm can be played in multiple mechanically accessible ways, including voice recognition. Peak by Landfall Games and Aggro Crab. Peak's developers have done a fantastic job regularly updating the game's accessibility in post-launch patches, responding to very granular player feedback of their accessibility support. Spray Paint Simulator by North Star Video Games. This title features robust options for motor control accessibility, cognitive accessibility, motion sickness reduction, and visual accessibility. Squeakcross by Owlloon. Dyscalculia is rarely considered in conversations around accessibility. Squeakcross is full of numerous different accessibility options for players who struggle with mental handling of numbers. Barista by Yofi Asi. Barista is a sightless blind player accessible title with charming humour and a very polished gameplay loop. A highly impressive Game Jam title from early this year. And the Indie Game Award for Achievement in Accessibility goes to Peak by Landfall Games and Aggro Crab.
Wow, hey, thank you so much. It means a lot to us to receive the award for Achievement in Accessibility. You know, with Peak, we wanted to make a game for everyone, and making a game for everyone means making it accessible. We honestly didn't have a lot of good accessibility options at launch, since it was a pretty hastily made game. But for us, it was important to listen to feedback from the community and do our best to add the right toggles and improve the base game to let as many people as possible play it. And like with Another Crab's Treasure last year, we wanted to make accessibility fun, which is why there's a button to turn spiders into Bing Bong. So thank you to the fans that made their voices heard. Thank you to everyone at both Aggro Crab and Landfall for making this game possible. And thank you to the Indie Game Awards.
New for this year's ceremony, the Indie Game Awards expands globally to highlight developers who offer different perspectives through their craft. From nominations to selecting the recipients, our new regional and specialized categories are being led by partner showcases and festivals.
Kicking off this new initiative is Ben Rausch, Program Director of Africa's first annual Destination Indie Games and Immersive Arts Festival and Conference.
Hi indie fans, I'm Ben Rausch joining you from Cape Town as the Program Director of Playtopia, Africa's biggest indie games festival. Every year, the Playtopia Arcade exhibits a selection of works that celebrate indie games at their most creative, original, and well-crafted. To curate this exhibition, we spend the year hunting for outstanding titles and have a free, open submission system where anyone can send us their games for consideration. At Playtopia 2025, 105 games were exhibited, and 55 of those games were created by devs from Africa. We're honored to have been invited to curate the nominees for the African Indie Game Award. I hope that this award will be something that inspires African devs to continue crafting excellent games for a global audience. I want to take this opportunity to encourage indie game fans to support and share the work of African devs, and I want to send the hugest of high fives to every single African indie that's making and sharing games with the world. The 2025 nominees for the African Indie Game Award are Ruinbuggy Get the Milk by McDog, Finding Father by Studio Bow and Pressure Cooker Studios, Philibius McDougal and the Mysterious Flying Machine by Unsigned Double Collective, Ikelia by All Day All Night, Metavoidal by Yellow Lab Games, and Stick It to the Stickman by Free Lives. And the Indie Game Award goes to Stick It to the Stickman by Free Lives.
Congratulations to ourselves, and congratulations to all the new games coming out of Africa.
A cultura da África é muito pobre, então
strong visual
tem muito
aesthetic
que reclamar,
can
não.
make a first impression everlasting. Co-founder of DenkiWorks, Liam Edwards, knows a thing or two about knocking that first impression out of the park.
Hello Indie Game Awards, I'm Liam Edwards, one of the co-founders of the Kyoto indie-based studio DenkiWorks, the creators of Tanuki Pond Summer, and I'm here at the stunning Kyoto Imperial Palace. What better place to talk to you about the visual design nominees for this year's awards? In a world where there's seemingly endless amounts of video games being released all of the time, it's never been more important to aesthetically stand out and be unique. So here are this year's best of the best, the nominees for visual design. 30 Birds by Ram Ram Games and Business Goose Studios. Artiste Impact by Mass. Cat Detective Albert Wild by Beyond Those Hills. Eclipsium by Housefire. Machina by Tala and Jack Co. Slime Rancher 2 by Monomi Park. And the award goes to 30 Birds by Ram Ram Games and Business Goose Studios.
Hi everyone, I'm Laurent from Ram Ram Studio, and I'm the main developer behind 30 Birds.
And hi, I'm Colleen from Ram Ram Studio, and I'm the artistic director of 30 Birds.
Thanks a lot for the award. Thanks to the jury. Thanks for the organization. We want to thank our team who made 30 Birds with us.
And we hope that thanks to this award, new people may discover 30 Birds and have a great time playing it.
Thanks again, and
bye-bye.
Design meu moleque.
The strongest narratives help us connect our personal experiences with the ones on screen through immersive worlds and wondrous characters. Through past relationships and spicy empires, Eka from Outer Loop Games has masterfully achieved just that.
Hi, I'm Eka from Outer Loop Games, game director on Thirsty Suitors and the upcoming Dusty Divas. A great game story doesn't just entertain, it moves you, it challenges you, and sticks with you through specificity because life is in the details. These 6 indies deliver exactly that. Unforgettable characters, immersive worlds, and stories from a unique point of view that keep echoing in your mind long after you're done playing. Here are the nominees for narrative. Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector by Jump Over the Age. Consume Me by Jenny Zhao Shao, AP Thompson, Jian Li, Violet WP, and Ken Koda Snyder. The Drifter by Parohoof and Dave Lloyd. Promise Mascot Agency by Kaizen Gameworks. The Root Trees Are Dead by Evil Trout, Inc. The Seance of Blake Manor by Spooky Doorway. And the Indie Award goes to Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector by Jump Over the Age. Congrats.
Hi, I'm Gareth Damian Martin, the creator of Citizen Sleeper, and I want to thank the Indie Game Awards for recognizing Citizen Sleeper 2 in the narrative category. It's been an incredible journey over the past 5 years making the Citizen Sleeper games, and it's a journey I couldn't have gone on without Guillaume Saint-Gelon, the game's incredible artist, Amos Roddy, the game's composer, Dan and Matt Collier, who helped me get the game on so many different platforms, and of course my publisher Fellow Traveller, who do incredible work supporting narrative games. I also would love to show huge thanks to all the players and everybody who's told their friends, who's been too much of a sicko about Citizen Sleeper 2, who've pushed the series to people they know and supported the games. I really did not believe that this is what would happen when I started on this journey, and yeah, I'll be forever thankful for everyone who's recognized these games and who has felt something from these stories, so thank you so much.
Created in honor of the late beloved developer, the Mohamed Fahmy Storyteller Award recognizes an exceptional storyteller and their profound work shaping deep narratives in games. As soon as our ceremony ended last year, we knew who our next recipient would be without any hesitation. My initial interaction with this person was actually pretty funny. She assumed I was reaching out because of one particular game, but I told her that even in her games without strict narrative, her games tell a story. Stories aren't just what's experienced on screen, but also the memories that are created with the ones you love through the act of playing. But enough from me. I think our presenter has a better story to share. Without further ado, here to present the 2025 Mohamed Fahmy Storyteller Award, the one and only Lena Raine.
Sometime in 2016, I got a random DM on Twitter that changed the entire course of my career. I was working as a game designer with aspirations of writing music for games. I had a few really amazing opportunities, but I never found the right project that let me feel like I was fully part of the team. And then I got a DM from Maddie asking if I'd like to do music for a little game that she and some friends were working on called Celeste. Making that game with the team lit a fire. Nothing during my day job felt nearly as exciting and inspiring as getting to go home and work late into the night on music for this little platformer. I don't really know what Maddie saw in my music, but somehow it managed to fit right into place for the story we were all telling. And it wasn't just in the words, really. It was every aspect of the game. The way a screen was laid out, the way new mechanics and level gimmicks gave rise to a metaphoric experience. Even before dialogue was written, playing the levels felt like understanding the story of Madeline, and allowed me to write as evocative music as I was able to. Now, almost 8 years after releasing the game, I constantly feel the effects that her storytelling has had on the greater community that blossomed around Celeste. Hundreds of talented creators have also been inspired to make their own levels, their own stories, their own music. Extremely talented speedrunners race every year to raise money for global medical aid and cancer research. At every games event I get a chance to attend, people come up and express just how much the game means to them, not as just as a fun little thing that they played one time, but as a lasting affirmation of who they are. No matter what they took away from it, no matter what it informed about them, it made an impact on their lives for the better. Games don't often do that, even if we always aspire to it. It's something that comes from a place of deep empathy and care. So I am beyond pleased to present the Mohamed Fahmy Storyteller Award to my collaborator and friend, Maddie Thorson.
It's an honor to accept the Storyteller Award. And of course, I need to thank all of the brilliant collaborators I've had the privilege of working with along the way. Towerfall and Celeste were truly team efforts. I believe that we make games in the hopes that they will impact someone and maybe even inspire someone to add their own voice to the conversation. And this beautiful medium, games, is something that we're all building together. So to be recognized like this for my contributions to that project is sincerely the highest honor. And I feel like I have a lot more left to give. I don't plan on stopping. I really just love making games, and I hope to make a lot more of them. So thank you, and keep making beautiful things.
Women-led Games brings recognition to the hardworking women in the games industry. Representing their annual showcases is Twitch ambassador Ash Said Hi.
Hi everyone, this is Ash Said Hi, Twitch Women's Guild lead and host for this year's IGA for the Women-Led Indie Game Award. This year we are honoring the fantastic women in game development from around the world. Expressing our unique contributions is paramount to ensuring that women and non-binary folk feel represented. We must remember that everyone's differences make our world more whole. There are many trailblazers in the indie game scene, creating experiences that hold a lens to the complex and beautiful demographic of gamers today. With that, let's jump into the nominees for the Women-Led Indie Game Award. Cabernet by Party for Introverts. Gemporium by Merge Conflict Studio. White Knuckle by Dark Machine Games. Urban Myth Disillusion Center by Hakaba Bunko. Spilled by Lente. Duck Detective: The Ghost of Glamping by Happy Broccoli Games. And the Indie Game Award goes to Urban Myth Disillusion Center by Hakaba Bunko.
Jogo Detetive eu acho que é o melhor da lista, hein?
すごくいいよ。いい顔してるビが。ここ見な、ここ。この度はザ・インディーゲームアワードのウーマンレッドインディーゲームアワードという名誉ある賞をいただき、心より感謝申し上げます。墓場文庫制作チーム一同、この受賞を大変光栄に思っております。この作品はメンバー全員の
Vou dar uma japinha aqui na tela que vocês vão desenhar.
会の皆様のご支援によってここまで来ることができました。これからも心に残るゲームをお届けできるよう、チーム一同努力してまいります。この度は本当にありがとうございます。
Não me chama atenção isso aí não, hein?
It takes a village to create a community that's not only fun, but engaging and welcoming. Please welcome Kennedy Lee Slocum, Social Media Manager of Black Kite Games.
Agora vai ser um
Hi,
jogo pra comunidade.
Awards. My name is Kennedy Lee Slocum, and I'm a games writer and community manager for Black Kite Games. And I just want to say, as I'm sure all of this category's nominees would agree, community management is a weird job. It covers so much more than people realize. Whether it's an individual or a whole team, they're the unsung heroes that wear many hats. Handling everything from player support to keeping the community positive, endlessly researching internet slang, organizing events, and representing the personality of their entire studio. They endure a lot, but their work is vital in creating a space where players feel heard, valued, and connected. Our next award celebrates those who have gone above and beyond to foster a vibrant, inclusive community in an industry that can make it quite challenging at times, but will ultimately always need voices like theirs. Here are the nominees for Community Management. Jenny Zhao Xia. Strange Scaffold. Sassy Chap Games. All Day, All Night. Team Peak. Game Smithing Limited. And the Indie Game Award goes to Team Peak.
Hey Scouts, I'm Paige. And I'm Hannah, and we're joined by the rest of our Peak community team, Beth and Josephine. Hello. Hello. Thank you so much for the Indie Game Award in community management. We couldn't have done it without the amazing help from our Discord moderators, all the content creators who made the Peak community what it is, and of course, all the Scouts at home like you.
You're falling off the mountain.
You're just like sliding off. AggroCrab was lucky to win the Community Management Award last year, but Peak was made in collaboration with our friends over at Landfall, so we get to share it this year. I'm gonna fucking die. I'm happy this award is handed to another incredible community manager and team because they deserve it so much. Landfall has been around for over 10 years and this is their first award in community management. Isn't that batshit fucking crazy? Imagine looking at the trenches of the Steam forums for 10 years.
Hi, it's me, Hannah, from the Landfall team, the one in the trenches. Thank you all so much for this award. It's been a while to see our amazing community grow over the last 10 years, from just some people in the Skype chat about playing, to millions of Peak Scouts. And we couldn't have done it without our amazing team, Lisabeth, who does the best support in the biz, Josephine, who just started but has hit the ground running, Liv, who backed us up during those stressful months before and after launch, Cade and our lovely Discord moderators, and of course Paige, who it's been an honor to work with on this game. We wouldn't be here without AggroCrab and the rest of the Landfall and Peak team. They're always there to fix bugs, listen to community suggestions, and support us in any way they can. And last but not least, I want to give a special thank you to the amazing players, because there wouldn't be a community without you.
Finally, we have one more person who would like to say a speech. Bing Bong, take it away.
I'm Bing Bong. Ah, Bing Bong, you're supposed to say something nice to the viewers.
Bing Bong, we're live here. You can do it.
Put him in the cannon. You better get in the cannon, Bing Bong. This is for the fans.
Please don't.
Beautiful.
Let's go, guys. Whoa! Let's go! Woo!
Pra nós o Eric foi legal.
Hi, we're Cookie Crayon, an indie game studio from New Zealand.
We love to create bite-sized games with a strong focus on the visuals and experimentation. With Neo Navs, we wanted the art style to be bold and loud to contrast with the quiet sneakiness of the game.
We ended up with something that kind of feels like a moving painting, with a little crowd of characters milling about in a bright and surreal world, while you and a friend try to blend in and help each other out.
Me lembra muito
To answer the question,
o
what does
teto de
indie mean to
pintura.
We like to think of indie being where you can freely create without the fear of something being wrong, and where you can try out the most obscure ideas just to see what happens.
And it's a place where time, budget, and technical skill limitations can actually help to push ideas into new areas that maybe you wouldn't have explored otherwise. Thank you so much to everyone involved in the Indie Game Awards for including us in this year's Indie Vanguard.
A short runtime doesn't mean a game can't make a lasting impact. Developer Graham Reed knows how to pack one heck of a punch in a single sitting.
Hey everybody, my name is Graham Reed, also known as Graham of Legend, and I'm a Jamaican indie game developer currently working on a small island builder called Orlands. Now, sometimes less is more, and a great game isn't defined by its how long to beat stats, but rather is defined by it being memorable and compelling in the small amount of time it has. Now this next award goes out to all those games, and it celebrates the short games that pack a punch that leave you satisfied and wanting more. Here are the nominees for Bite Size Game. Karimaro, Beneath the Forlorn Limbs by Bastinus Rex. Fly Night by Wobbleboy. Many Nights a Wispo by Deconstruct Team and Selkie Harbo. The Dark Queen of Morthome by Mosu. This game will end in 205 clicks by Insert Disc 5. And Time Flies by Playables. And the Indie Game Award goes to Time Flies by Playables.
Lembro do jogo esse. Foi no ano passado que eu vi ele. Tá com Game Show, se não tô enganado.
Frosty Games puts the spotlight on games made in Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands. Representing ANZ and Frosty Games is Amy Potter Jarman.
Hi, I'm Amy, founder and one of the 5 organisers behind Frosty Games. Our next award honours the outstanding achievements of indies based in Australia, Aotearoa New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands. This region may be physically separated by a whole lot of water down at the edge of the globe, but we don't let that stop us from shipping some of the very best indie games in the world, as this incredible list of titles goes to show. Here are the nominees for the ANZ Indie Award. Abiotic Factor by Deepfield Games. The Drifter by Powerhoof. Mars vs. Logistics by Shapeshop. Proximate by Kane Maddox. Hollow Knight Silksong by Team Cherry.
São mais conhecidos de todos aqui.
Tempopo by Witchbeam.
Agora a instrução vai levar isso aqui. Obviamente.
And the Indie Game Award goes to The Drifter by Powerhoof.
Que?
G'day. Oh, hold on, I'll just adjust this for those watching from the wrong hemisphere. That should be better. Now you see why we didn't make a comedy game. It would have been all dad jokes all the time. Thank you. This is amazing. I think just to be nominated alongside such awesome games was like mind-blowing. There's so many cool games that I absolutely adore that have come out of Australia and New Zealand the last year. We're really a prêmios durante o ano de 2005, né? It's so cool to see. Yeah, despite industry hardships and all that stuff, like it's been amazing. Massive thanks to the team, Barney, Alex, and Matt, just like killed it on the art. Louis and Mitch for the killer soundtrack. Adrian and the other voice actors just like brought the characters to life in such an amazing, magical way. It was so cool. And yeah, like everyone else, like it's a small team, but there's just so many people that help, and such an awesome community we have around us as well. Like really makes it possible. Personally, I think this means so much to me. It's a game I worked on for 6 going on 7 years now, so it's a massive chunk of my life, and to be recognized like this makes it extra, is extra special, and especially for a genre which I really adore. Like the point and click genre is really dear to my heart. It's one that's not celebrated as much as some of the other indie genres, I think, but yeah, it's one I absolutely love, so yeah, it really means a lot. But yeah, now I'll adjust this back to so I can watch the rest of the awards. Thanks again, and ta-ra!
There were 2 pieces of feedback that stood out the most from our inaugural ceremony: genre categories and the fact that you wanted to voice your support for your favorite indies. So we opened the polls and asked you to pick your favorite indies within specific genres and, of course, overall. Here are your 2025 community picks. Action game, Hades 2. Adventure game, Hollow Knight, Silksong. Horror game, Repo. Interactive fiction, Date Everything. Multiplayer game, Peak.
Tinha legal esse
Puzzle
jogo.
game, Blueprints.
Eu vi lá no Store, tá bem baratinho.
Role-playing game, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Simulation game, Schedule 1.
Schedule 1? Essa eu não vi ainda
Strategy
não.
game, The 100 Line Last Defense Academy. Survival game, Abiotic Factor. And Community Game of the Year, Hollow Knight, Silksong.
Fantastic gameplay design is what hooks us as players. Crisp mechanics, alluring flow states, and even hundreds of variations on slaying a princess. Please welcome Tony Howard Arias and Abby Howard from Black Tabby Games.
Hi, I'm Abby Howard.
And I'm Tony Howard Arias, and the two of us make up Black Tabby Games, the studio focused on branching narratives.
We're honored to be presenting the award for Best Gameplay Design, which sits at
Somos
the intersection
jovens
of so
hoje.
many things, including smooth mechanics, challenging difficulty curves, and keeping players on their toes and immersed in what they're playing.
Nossa senhora é
It's
elegante.
mostly about giving players way too many
Eu já fui
sentences.
preto, mas ela é elegante.
Here are the nominees for gameplay design. Absalom by Dotemu, Guard Crush Games, and Supa Monks.
Ball Pit by Kenny Sun.
Dawn Folk by Darren Keller.
Hades 2 by Supergiant Games.
Hollow Knight Silksong by Team Cherry.
Aqui vai
Keep
levar.
Driving by YCJY Games.
Keep Driving. Isso vai ser legal.
Look Outside by Francis Columb.
Ooh by Nama Takahashi, Tiny Cactus Studio, and Tsuyomi.
Você vai levar Hades ou Silksong.
Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo by Pocket Trap.
The King is Watching by Hypnohead.
Nessa categoria. Vamos lá.
And the Indie Game Award goes to Ball Pit by Kenny Sun.
Congratulations, Kenny. So many of us have lost dozens of hours to your game, and it's great to see those lost hours finally coalesce into physical
Não entendi
form.
essa votação, hein, galera. Ball.
Kenny unfortunately wasn't able to record an acceptance speech for the award, so we're accepting it on his behalf.
Thank you so much for your hard work, and we can't wait to see what you're working on
Viu?
next.
Só que o cara é mais irresponsável. Eu? Isso foi do meu próprio jogo?
Black Voices in Gaming is committed to increasing Black representation and inclusion within the gaming industry. Representing the growing and thriving community of Black game developers is co-founder and director Justin Woodward.
What is poppin', everybody? It's your boy Justin Woodward, co-founder of the Mixed Media Indie Exchange, and of course Black Voice in Gaming, part of the nonprofit organization Experience Studios, which was made to help underrepresented developers get access to funding, visibility, discoverability, mentorship, and networking for their entrepreneurial growth.
No ano passado,
And we are
mas eu
partnered
não
with the
encontrei.
Indie Game Awards this year to showcase some of the best and brightest Black game developers that release games in 2025. So without further ado, the Black Voices in Gaming nominees are Avid Neon by Cryo GX, Althea, The Wrath of a Fairy by Mars Lit Games, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown by Strange Scaffold, Spirit Swap, Lo-Fi Beats to Match 3-2 by Soft Not Weak, Sorry We're Closed by a la Mode Games, and Sunken Stones by Sprite Wrench.
Isso não apareceu dela aqui não, hein? Não, dela não apareceu aqui não.
And the winner is Althea The Wrath of a Fairy by Marslit Games.
Ciao, sono Andrea, sono metà di Marslit Games e come prima cosa voglio dire grazie. Grazie per questo award perché onestamente non ce l'aspettavamo, è stata una bella sorpresa. Come seconda cosa voglio ringraziare mio fratello, l'altra metà del team, perché riesce ogni volta a trovare qualcosa di sbagliato in quello che facciamo e questo ci aiuta a creare
Italiano
migliore ogni volta. E un ringraziamento speciale va sicuramente a tutte le persone che hanno giocato al gioco, tutte le persone che anche solo hanno creduto in quello che facciamo, in quello che abbiamo fatto, veramente grazie. E questo è tutto, speriamo di vederci.
Te voi sunt fanatici giochi esse bicho.
Hi, I'm Gabby D'Arienzo. I'm the co-creator of games like A Mortician's Tale, and most recently Seasonal at Cemetery, which I worked on with these lovely people. Seasonal at Cemetery is a completely free game where you explore a cemetery that changes in real time with your computer's date and time. The game is inspired by my own experiences exploring cemeteries, but especially during the pandemic, and seeing spaces that we often associate with death just breathe with so much life. During this scary time of the world, I found it oddly comforting to see these cemeteries change and grow with the seasons. I wanted to replicate that experience for players, creating a space for them to grieve and for them to find some catharsis during hard times. I speak on behalf of our whole team when I say thank you so much to the Indie Game Awards for this honor. Something that's really important to us is the ability to make small, gentle games about difficult subjects like death and grief. And it means the absolute world to us that people like our games, that they resonate with our games, and that there's a space for us in this industry to make the kind of games that we do. I hope that this inspires, maybe even encourages other developers to make their own games about difficult subject matters that are personal to them. Speaking from experience, I can say that it's weirdly therapeutic. And I hope you find the same catharsis, and I can't wait to play the games that you make.
Memorable experiences can punch you straight in the feels. Ria from I Miss My Friends Studio is here to share with us the 6 titles that hit the hardest.
Hi everyone, I'm Ria, co-founder of I Miss My Friends Studio, a 2-person indie team making our debut title, Fishbowl. Games
Fishbowl foi de 2 pessoas, hein?
The stories, the moments, the emotions
Vamos
that
ver
stay with us long after we put down our controller. This award celebrates indies, which moved us the most this year, or frankly, made us ugly cry. Here are the nominees for emotional impact. Afterlove EP by Pixelnasia, And Roger by Teary Hand Studio, Don't Get Your Hopes Up by Krish Raghav, Henry Halfhead by Lululu Entertainment, Wander Stop by Ivy Road, Wednesdays by Pierre Corbinet's The Pixel Hunt and Exahiva.
Dá pra mim no mesmo.
And the Indie Game Award goes to And Roger by Teary Hand Studio.
Porque os 6 jogos são muito parecidos.
Hello, my name is Yona, the creator of And Roger. Thank you so much for selecting my game.
Muito parecido demais o estilo de mecânica.
And Roger is a very small, personal game. Something you can finish.
De todo mundo não conhece nenhum deles.
That is why receiving the emotional impact has meant so much to me. It makes me deeply happy to know that this small work has traveled across the ocean and left an impression on the judges. Although it is short, I believe And Roger
Não sei como funciona o sistema dele, que é diferente do outro. Awards.
Since you've discovered the game through this opportunity, I hope you will consider giving it a try. Thank you.
Falta aqui Black Game Awards para ver o que vão trazer. E falta Accessibility Game Showcase.
The Southeast Asian Games Showcase shines the spotlight on the best of Southeast Asian games during the summer festival season. Representing the region are Samantha Lowe, RF Johan, and Nissi Arcega from the SEA Games Showcase.
Hello, I'm Sam.
I'm RF.
I'm Nissi, and we're the organizing team for the Southeast Asia Games Showcase, an initiative dedicated to shining the spotlight on games and developers from our region.
Over the years, we've seen developers win the hearts of so many, creating experiences as far off as a cafe in futuristic Seattle and as close to home as the streets of Surabaya, Indonesia.
Although developers from the region have long been a part of the global games industry, with every year that passes, we see an increasing amount of developers who create truly original experiences. It's exciting to witness the growth of the region, and more importantly, to celebrate the exceptional games released this year.
Here are your nominees for the inaugural Southeast Asian Indie Game Award.
Nominados.
Pacifica Typing Survival by Alias Black. Artist Impact by Mas. Urban Jungle by Kylike Games. Afterlove EP by Pixelnesia. Whisper Mountain Outbreak by Toge Productions. Set Up a Culinary Adventure by Copyforge. And the Indie Game Award goes to Artist Impact by Mas.
Nominados.
Hello everyone.
Me chama a atenção.
The developer of Artist Impact.
Isso tem pra PC
I'm
também,
truly
né?
honored to accept the Southeast Asian Indie Game Awards for Artist
Tudo bem,
Impact. Thank you to the judges, our amazing player, and everyone who supported us along the way. This award means a lot to me, and I'll keep working hard to bring more meaningful experience to you. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Alice. This is Chance.
Hello.
And we're the developers of Hyperbeat.
Oi, let's deal with the bad look. Hands off the bar while I'm cleaning it.
Hyperbeat is a rhythm action game with a completely original soundtrack, an ensemble cast of characters you can get to know, and some pretty deep character customization.
Hyperbeat is like a roller coaster. It's loud and then it's very soft.
It's a story about being yourself.
Yeah.
And like finding
who that is.
Yeah.
I think I need to remember, sometimes the story we want to tell is not the one we get to.
We're really honored to be included in the Indie Game Awards.
I don't think either Alice or I could have predicted that we would have been a part of the Vanguard class at all.
This is pretty cool.
It is very cool. We never thought that anybody would play the game,
let alone like it.
Purchase it.
Yeah.
What does being an indie creator mean to you?
I think being an indie means creative freedom, being yourself.
Indie really just means being authentic and doing what you love, doing things that matter to you.
Thank you.
Play indie games.
Play indie games.
Play indie games.
Depende dos jogos indie. Um que me chamou a atenção aqui. Nesse evento até agora.
Between Super Hexagon, Dicey Dungeons, and countless other scores, our next presenter has left you bobbing your
Agora
head
vamos
long
na
after
música,
you
então
stopped
pra
playing
música.
games. Please welcome Chipsel.
I'm Chipsel, and thanks for joining us for the Indie Game Awards.
Chipsel.
You may know me from Super Hexagon, Dicey Dungeons, Just Shapes and Beats, to name a few. I've been in the industry for over 15 years, and the community is like no other. We have the grit and the gumption to work together to make amazing things, and I think that's just beautiful. Music can pull you deeper into a game, make you feel things that you didn't expect, and stick with you long after you've put down the controller. The indie scene is really good at using music to lift the experience, whether it's a haunting melody that lingers after the credits, a sweeping score that drives the story, or a track that's just a straight up banger. The right music can totally transform a game from fun to unforgettable. Here's the nominees for music. Everhood 2, music by Kazakh, KMXP, Sjoerd Keller, Lumoth, Chris Nordgren, Cat God,
de música.
Dance Floor is Lava, and INFX.
Nenhum dos nominados me chama atenção.
Hurdling, music by Joel Shock.
Essa é legal. O anterior não me chamou atenção nenhuma vez, porque o nominado anterior é essa aqui.
Rift of the Necrodancer, music by Danny Baranowski, Alex McCullough, Jules Conroy, Josie Breckner,
Esse não é legal,
Sam
não.
Webster,
O segundo foi achei legal.
Nick Moisbum.
O segundo foi legalzinho.
Sonokuni, music by Don Yasakru.
Nada que ver a música com o jogo, não.
Sword of the Sea, music by Austin Wintory.
A música do jogo parece legal. Não sei se o jogo será legal, né?
Wheel World by Johnny Jewel, Jun,
Oh,
and Ryan.
Real World. Mundo real. Lo que no
And the
também está
winner is
aqui.
Rift of the Necrodancer, music by Danny Baranowski, Alex McCullough, Jules Conroy, Josie Breckner, Sam Webster, and Nick Moisbum.
Hey, I'm Danny, music director for Rift of the Necrodancer. Thank you for the award. I wanted to thank Brace Yourself Games for making the game and giving me a job, and TikTok Games for helping us make it. I want to thank Sky Climenega for being my hand of the king and helping me so much with many musical tasks and heading up the level design, which is so important to the game. Don't want to forget the artist team, Alex, Jules, Josie, Sam, and Nick. Without their contributions, the soundtrack would not have been what it was. Thank you so much.
And a huge thanks to our level designers, David, Ella, Rox, and Dustin, for helping make some charts that really work with the music to make the game feel really fun.
Thank you so much, everybody who voted. Thank you, Brace Yourself Games, Danny Baranowski, of course, all of my other composers.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so
Gas Station Story by Enzi. PBJ the Musical by Philip Stollenmayer. Ruffy and the Riverside by Socrates Laboratories UG. Taria and Como by Poppyseed Studio Inc. and Juvie Productions. And the Indie Game Award goes to Blueprints by Dogu Bomb.
I can't believe I won an Indie Game Award. I'm a big fan, as you might expect from someone who plays only indie games. And part of the reason I play indie games is because they're so innovative. And indie devs are the ones taking, the big risks in the industry. They're the ones that are bending and breaking and birthing new genres and mechanics and design concepts. And I think that indie games are the heart of games because they are the ones pushing the medium forward. So looking at the other nominees, not just in the innovation category, but across all the categories, and there's so many sort of fresh design and concepts that I've never seen in games before. So I am deeply honored to win this award in a company of developers like this and in a year like this, because it has been so innovative. Is it innovative or innovative? Because I think I say both frequently. I guess that's the cool thing about winning an award like this, is I'm not saying it wrong. I'm simply innovating the pronunciation. But seriously, this means a lot. And thanks to the Indie Game Awards jury, and thank you to 6-1 Indie for putting this on every year.
Hey guys, this is Micah with Crashable Studios, and we're so glad people are enjoying the game, and it's such an incredible honor to be chosen as Indie Vanguards. And our game Wildwood Down is a slapstick comedy adventure starring a main character who has Down syndrome. And now our childhood friend Daniel plays this character, and he has Downs. And we grew up with him, and he's like our brother from another mother. And he did all his own voice acting, and he's like the heartbeat and inspiration of the entire game. And it was so incredible to be able to make this game with him. And so part of our story is that about 1.5 years into making the game, Daniel was diagnosed with 3rd-degree lung cancer and was rushed to the hospital. We didn't know if he was going to live or not. It was really like a terrible time. And but fans of the game and voice actors of the game sent us videos and messages and gifts while we were in the hospital. And also while we were there, we got the news that we won this award for diversity, and we sent in a thank you for it. And it was just incredible to see Daniel watch that.
The winner is Wildwood Down.
Now fast forward like 5 or 6 months later, Daniel's doing like super well. He has a super high probability that he's gonna live a full, healthy life, which is just incredible. So thanks so much. We're so honored to be chosen as Indie Vanguards, and cheers to everyone enjoying the Indie Game Awards. Peace out, peoples.
The Latin American Games Showcase is a platform that strives to increase the visibility of the video games being developed in the LATAM region and by Latin Americans around the world. Representing the region is producer David Lucio.
Hey everyone, my name is David Lucio. I'm the founder and director of the Latin American Games Showcase, a platform dedicated to uplift and celebrate the amazing talent of Latin American game developers. The talent coming out of our community is world-class, and it deserves to be celebrated loudly. And tonight, I have the honor to present the Latin American Game Award, a category that recognizes the passion, the resilience, and the original voices that are shaping the future of our industry. And the nominees are: from Ecuador, Sebastián Balbuena. From Brazil, Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo by Pocket Trap. From Mexico and the US, Taria and Como by Poppy Seed Studios Inc. and Juvie Productions. From Chile, Tormented Souls 2 by Dual Effect. From Brazil, Adventure of Samsara by Ilex Games. And from the Dominican Republic, Culebra and the Souls of Limbo by Gala Games. The Indie Game Award goes to Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo by Pocket Trap.
Olá, Indie Game Awards! 2025 foi um ano incrível para todas as produções da América Latina. E não poderíamos estar mais contentes de receber esse prêmio. O Pipistrello foi inspirado em jogos que crescemos jogando e imprimimos nele muito da cultura brasileira e da arquitetura também. Em nome de toda a Pocket Trap e toda a equipe, estamos muito orgulhosos por receber esse prêmio e queríamos agradecer a todos que jogaram e colaboraram até então. Muito obrigado!
Taking a project from concept to fully realized is quite the undertaking, especially when achieved solo. Here to celebrate the games led by a single full-time developer is Jade Meadows.
Hi, my name is Jade Meadows, and I'm honored to be presenting the award for solo development. Making games is really hard. Games are the intersection of so many different disciplines, from art and animation to programming and writing and game design. Being a solo developer means stretching your creativity across all of these specialties to bring your game to life. For about the past 3 years, I've been doing that for my game, Blue Ridge Hunting, which, by the way, is being published by 6-1 Indie, and you should totally wishlist on Steam. Whether completely solo or with the help of the remarkable contractors, volunteers, or friends, these developers each poured countless hours and endless creativity into bringing their games to life. Here are your nominees for solo development. Tall Trails by Brady Soglin. Lush Foil Photography Sim by Matt Newell. Megabonk by Vedinad. Naiad by High Warp. Build by Lente. Vile Exhumed by Kara Cadaver. And the Indie Game Award goes to Tall Trails by Brady Soglin.
Hello, I'm Brady Soglin, the developer of Tall Trails, and if you're seeing this, that means Tall Trails has received the Indie Game Award for solo development. So hooray, thank you. If you played Tall Trails, you know Tall Trails is a very weird, joyful game. Its themes are very close to my heart, so it means a ton to me to see other folks connecting with it like they have, so thank you all very much for that. While I was the only developer of Tall Trails, it definitely wasn't just me. So I want to also thank Dylan Payne, the composer of the soundtrack for Tall Trails. The soundtrack's amazing. It really brings the game up a level. So thank you, Dylan, for that. Also want to thank Francesca Carletta Leone for her work QAing the game, and Greg Wolwind, who designed the logo. And then also my partner Phoebe, my friends, my family. Without your support, it would not have been possible to have made Tall Trails. So thank you guys very much. Okay, that's all. So long.
The Industry Impact Award is our chance to recognize individuals and organizations who have made remarkable and positive contributions to the indie scene. When discussing potential candidates among the curation jury, one organization consistently stayed at the forefront of our minds. Their work doesn't always get the main stage spotlight, but the impact they make is a perfect example of why this category exists. But instead of us telling you more, we've invited a few mutual friends to share some words and their own experiences.
My name is Remy Siu, the creative director of 1000 Times Resist, and I'm so excited to help present this year's recipient for the Industry Impact Award. The first time I learned about game devs of color was in 2020. It was at the beginning of the pandemic, and I had just decided to abandon my career in the arts to try making games for real. It was scary, and I knew very little about the indie scene at large, beyond that there were indie games. I didn't know if anybody would be interested in the themes we wanted to explore in 1000 Times Resist. Discovering game devs of color was a kind of revelation, a reminder that there are people out there, peers, who are interested in the same things that inspire you. A reminder that the gaming community is not homogenous, but that there is, and always has been, diversity, both in the people and the games they make. It's a reminder that we should tell our own stories in the ways we yearn to, and not ask permission. There are so many Steam festivals and events out there now, but Game Devs of Color still feels like home. It's where games we make here at Sunset Visitor feel most comfortable in their own skin. So thank you Game Devs of Color, and congratulations.
Hello and Swadee Khap. My name is Sanat Busiangkun, and I'm an indie developer based in Bangkok, Thailand. It is my honor to be here to help present this year's recipient for the Industry Impact Award. I remember attending my first Game Devs of Color Expo back in 2021. Looking back at the talks I attended, I'm honestly surprised at how much it's still affecting my work today. I remember seeing Fami's talk, seeing someone from my home region who was so visible in the industry. Someone who just showed the world that, hey, we make games too. For a lot of us, just existing in this industry is kind of rough, but I'm thankful for Game Devs of Color for making this space where people get to find their communities, where devs today get to experience this magical feeling of meeting someone who kind of just understands you. A space where we don't have to justify our presence, where we get to just exist, create, and share. Today, game development is more approachable than ever, yet somehow still as difficult as ever. There's still so many barriers at every step of the way, but for today, let us celebrate the work that Game Devs of Color has done for this industry, along with the work that they'll continue to inspire each and every day.
Hi, I'm C. Bedford from Alamode Games, and I'd like to take a minute to talk about Game Devs of Color and the impact that they've had on the industry. They've certainly given me opportunity to reach a further audience and be able to get what I'm creating out there to more people to see what it is that I'm making. As creators, I think, there's nothing more that we want than to connect with other people out there in the world. And at the same time, as like a player or a gamer myself, there's nothing more that I want than to find like an exciting new world that is just unique and special and something I haven't, explored before. And I feel that is exactly what Game Devs of Color does, and they do it really well. They put in real conscious effort to find games that may be overlooked simply because of who's creating it and who's behind the desk putting it together. And it's a real shame because I believe there's so many players who are looking for those new experiences, and they do an excellent job, I think, of trying to bridge communities together to find, I don't know, just something to connect with, something more to connect with. I believe they are very deserving of this award, which I have the great pleasure of being part of presenting, which is the Industry Impact Award. They are very deserving of it. So congratulations, and thank you very much, Game Devs of Color, for all that you do.
Hi everybody, I'm Kat Small. I'm an independent game developer for over a decade, and I'm also the executive director of Game Devs of Color, Inc. And our mission is to amplify the creative power held by people of color in games. We are so honored to accept this award on behalf of our entire team. Now you can see the whole team here. The team is me, it's Brian Carr, Brian Chung, GJ Lee. We have so many other amazing folks that help us do our work. We have Alexia, Brittany, Danielle, Imperatrice, Hamna, Iman, Jace, Josh, Crystal, Martin, Mylia, Sharpie, all of our partners and collaborators, just so many amazing people. And it really could not be done without every single one of those folks. So we are infinitely grateful, not just for this award, but also for every person who steps up to build the future together.
Our online conference, the Game Devs of Color Expo, started 10 years ago. Every September, we provide developers of color a platform to speak beyond token diversity 101 talks and share their expertise and best practices through panels, talks, and interviews. The event extends beyond our global audience into local events too. We threw 14 watch parties for this last expo, and they were really fun. You should go next year. We also provide a lot of other opportunities through our GDOC Expo Direct and our Steam sale, which reaches hundreds of thousands of people so that devs can show their games to so many more. Thank you so much for recognizing the effort we put in each year for building all of this.
In a world where hegemonic entities
merely check off their diversity checklist in order to profit off of tokenism, only to later abandon
Eu perdi várias coisas porque eu tava fazendo café.
We band together in solidarity, resilience, care, and celebration. We strive to be the most pro-developer community. That's why we don't charge dev fees, we don't use any unpaid volunteer labor, we pay all contributors, we make our content accessible online with captions, we provide scholarships for in-person opportunities, and we have awarded over $400,000 in no-strings grant funding to help promising game creators build sustainable businesses, forming or expanding their studios. Because we put developers first.
We invest back into the community and in the next
Eu
generation
tinha
of
Kojima
game
já.
creators. Thank you to the
Menos mal que
individual
não falou.
for the honor.
Eu falei que é
And thank you
Kojima.
all for the time and attention. Our call to action is for you to join together with us in solidarity. We fight to create a better games industry that is intersectional and equitable. So come visit us at gamedevsofcolor.org and see how you can take part in the movement of creating an industry where the underrepresented are included from the very beginning and not just an afterthought.
The second annual Indie Game Awards is officially in the books. Congratulations to all nominees and recipients, and a huge thank you to our unbelievable presenters who took the time to celebrate the scene with us.
Once again, to all our fellow showcases, journalists, content creators, institutes, organizations, and more who made tonight possible, thank you. And of course, to our sponsors for believing in the mission of the IGAs.
Finally, thank you all for watching and hopefully cheering along from the comfort of your homes. It hasn't been a good year. We faced countless layoffs and closures driven by corporate greed and the allure of AI, both in development and journalism. The outside world remains a nightmare fueled by war, genocide, and mass starvation. Here at home, families continue to be torn apart. Women's rights and freedom of choice remain at risk, and the safety and security of our queer, trans, and BIPOC communities are threatened every day. But you know what? Despite all the bad, we're here together tonight celebrating the good. Keep using your voice to make a positive impact. Don't be afraid to speak out against the real bad eggs who hold way too much power. Don't be afraid to show your support for Gaza and a free Palestine. Don't be afraid to be a loud ally for underrepresented cultures, communities, and people altogether. That voice of yours is what's going to bring out the good. Maybe one day it'll lead us to a future where a game delay is our biggest problem. Wouldn't that be nice?
Sure would. Slowly but surely, though, we'll get there. And if you're angry about anything that he just mentioned, politely read the room. The Indie Game Awards will return in 2026. In the meantime, explore the IGA's Steam event and celebrate the scene well beyond the credits rolling. Until next time, thank you, happy holidays, and keep supporting independent, human-crafted art.
Ok, esse foi o nosso Indie Game Awards. Lembrando a todos vocês, esse foi nosso. Não posso dizer que foi o último evento do ano, mas pode ser o penúltimo, né? Então ficando por aqui então. A gente volta a assistir ainda hoje um terceiro vídeo ou amanhã com mais um, tá bom? Vamos ficando então por aqui então. Muito obrigado por nos acompanhar. Valeu, falou e eu fui até o próximo vídeo.
Iniciar janela. Pasta com mais recomendado. Desligar OBS Anidesk já interromper.